Previously, we worked with our XML file to have these AOPs and everything inside of here. Now we want to move our aspect configuration from our XML file to a source, so like an aspect config.java. We want to do some work inside of here. We can see I've already added some things in here, and now we are going to go over it. So the aspect import itself up here is important. We are going to use it and apply it to the class itself. We can see that we have add aspect, then public class, and then our class name right here. So that's important. That's the first thing we have to do. And now we have to make use of before and point cut. Inside of here, remember, this is kind of replacing your application, right? So much easier than XML. We're going to be dealing with Java. So inside of here, we have our at point cut, and this is basically taking care of all of this right here. We were saying that this is a point cut. At the execution, we have our generic, whatever, no really checking any conditions in here with the asterisks and the two dots here. So point cut this execution, and then we're going to do private void my point cut method. So we just have this right here to execute, but the at before my point cut method means this executes beforehand. So basically what we're saying is that this executes, and then our my point cut method is going to execute. And in our my point cut method right here, our point cut, we're basically going into our item class, and then we're going to call whatever it is we have in here from our main. Remember, our main has this item, which is from our item class, and then like .toString, that's a method in there. Get available quantity is a getter in there, and so that's how that would work. So basically, we no longer need this. This is redundant. We can take this out. We can still have our beans right here. Our beans are important, and we can keep those in there because we need them. Now, if we wanted to, and we've done this in previous videos, we could just do like at bean. I would have to look over my old code for it to do it personally because I'm still new with this, but we could take all of these beans right here and put it in our aspect config.java class. If we wanted to, we could do it, but we'll just stick with it in our XML for here for now, and we're going to replace what we had previously with this. And it's just saying that we have an aspect J auto proxy, and that's just telling it to go into our aspect to look for these things. Tells Spring to look for aspect configurations with the at aspect annotation. So it's going to look for anything with that aspect annotation. Our aspect config class has this aspect annotation, so this is how it's going to work. Now, nothing should change in our main class. If we run it, we should get all three, and we don't because we have errors. So we can look at them right here. Okay, and I made a silly mistake in our aspect configuration class. Noticed how inside of our before it needs to be a my point cut method with parentheses because we were referencing a method right here. I didn't have the parentheses, that's why it gave me the error. Now I reran it without this error, and we have got our output right here. It's the same thing as we had before. If we wanted to modify it anyway, we could always remember change this to be like a public void, private, public string. We could always take these away if we want 0 arguments or specific type of parameter in here. We could just do all that. Now again, we could put our beans in our aspect configuration file. However, we're not doing that here. We're just going to leave it in our XML unless the Skillsoft course says to do so, but that can be easily implemented. Again, would probably have to check my other video on that just because a little bit new to this stuff and it's not off the top of my head. But that's all for setting up aspect configurations using our annotations, and then we've worked with point cut expressions previously with XML. Next, we're going to be defining point cuts spanning across multiple classes.